All right, we're live. Probably my fault. Well, possibly my fault. It's been a while since I've used StreamYard, so it could be a StreamYard error as well. But hey, we're live, and I'm wearing the appropriate shirt for the day. Sysadmin, because developers, even developers, need heroes. Um, I don't know if there's a better shirt to wear on System Administrator Appreciation Day. And cheers. I am drinking an Edmund Fitzgerald Stout. This is a brewed in Michigan beer. So it's been a while. It's been a little while since I've been live. I think last Sunday, in fact. And yes, midweek news is late this week. I wanted to give the RescueZilla video a chance to breathe a little bit. So over the weekend, I'll release the midweek news video, but I know that's not going to do as well as what the RescueZilla video did, so I wasn't in as much of a hurry to release it this week. So that's the story there. So hopefully we didn't lose too many people by the little snafu with the scheduling tonight, but it is what it is. I tried. I really did try. I came home and I got it scheduled after my phone call, and then I went to have dinner and relax a little bit before diving into this. Okay, so who all do we have with us tonight? We have Grish, of course. We have Nerd45. Welcome. David is here from PE for Doers. And I think that covers everybody. If you are watching live and you are unable to comment in the chat, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything. You just have to be subscribed for 5 minutes in order to converse with the rest of the regulars. So just a little control I put in place to keep some of the riffraff out. But worst case scenario, I've got the ban hammer and I'm not afraid to use it. As someone who was bullied in middle school and high school to some extent, I don't put up with it on YouTube. And you come and make some snide comment or offer unsolicited medical advice or make some comment that I'm stupid for saying something or doing something you don't agree with without providing any sort of reasoning behind your statement, you're gone. Hit the road, Jack. Because to go back to 90s comedy, homie, don't play dat. There you go. And believe it or not, this is only my first beer of the night. I have allotted myself two. I will let myself unwind tonight. All right. So what's new? What's new? What's exciting? What's happening? Well, let's see. Last Sunday, I finally made the decision. I pulled the trigger, so to speak, not in a literal sense, but with as a figurative that I made the decision to make a purchase. I invested in myself in an app called WalkFit. And this is a little different from just the typical stuff that's built into your smartwatch or you know whatever health apps come with your phone or whatever. And this actually builds you a plan tailored to your current height and weight and age. And it then makes a recommendation on how many steps you should be walking every day. 10,000 steps is not what every person everywhere around the world should be walking every day. My number is actually 4,700. Now today I'm almost to 7,000, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, I'm doing pretty well on this so far this week. I've hit the at least 4,700. I think this will be the fourth day in a row. I'd have to double check that, but my phone's dead, so it's on the charger right now. But anyway, I'm already down about 1.5 pounds just by pushing myself to be more active. And you know, these apps are all about, you know, making your goal a game, right? You know, can you beat what you did yesterday, right? So yeah, I've been enjoying that. It's been forcing me, even when I'm at work, to get up out of my chair and force myself to take breaks, even if that break means just walking around the perimeter of the inside of the library in the air conditioning. And in these crazy hot days that we've had this week, that's exactly what I've been doing. But hey, it's something. And you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. And you know, I'm not expecting miracles overnight, but I am feeling more determined to do this now than ever. And I just that's what I'm doing. And I'm not looking for approval. I just am saying this out loud and documenting it for myself to have it out there in the universe that, hey, I'm making some changes. And you know, as I've said before, keep your unsolicited medical advice to yourself. You may be a doctor, but you're not my doctor, so bite your tongue. I'm in a no BS mode right now. So, you know, take it or leave it. You're not going to hurt my feelings one way or the other. So, yeah, there's that. What was it? Wednesday is the day. It's sort of my short day during the week. I got out of work at 4:00. I was able to go do some errands. And then I met up with a guy I went to high school with. I've mentioned him before. We were actually born in the same hospital on the same day, 2 hours apart, delivered by the same doctor. And hey, Michael, if you're watching, or brother Michael, or old man, as I refer to him. But yeah, we hadn't seen each other for probably 18 months, like a year and a half. And I needed to go to the town our high school is in, and the other day, and I ended up knowing that I was going there. I ended up shooting him a message and saying, "Hey, let's meet for a burger and a chat." And so that was a hell of a good time, and I really enjoyed myself. I needed an outlet, and I feel like I got that. So if you're listening, brother Michael, I appreciate you for that. And he had a surprise with him. We were sitting there talking after dinner, and he's like, "Oh, I got to go out to my truck and get something." And what does he pull out? He's got one of my hoodies, the second generation design that has a small logo on the front, and then my big logo on the back. He made a point. I guess his girlfriend got a hoodie as well, or a shirt. I don't remember which. Middle-aged brain fart, right? Anyway, he did make the point of telling me that the women's shirts or sweatshirts fit different, and apparently my design skill, if you can call it that, worked. And the logos are in a slightly different position on the female shirts. Having a sister and nieces and whatnot, I thought, put the logo up higher, and then the guys won't be staring lower. And or they have less of an excuse to blame it on trying to read the logo or figure out what the logo is. So anyway, I was thrilled to know that they got some merch, and I'm probably going to be ordering myself another one here before long, just so it's here by the time the cooler fall months start happening, which I'm ready for. I'm very ready for. But it's been a good week overall. Been going around with back and forth with a vendor a little bit. I did bounce some ideas off from Tony to help me do like a sanity check and make sure I wasn't missing anything stupid in their quotes for different things, to redo the network. And there were one or two things that Tony caught that I didn't immediately catch, but it's always good to have a second set of eyeballs that belong to somebody that knows what they're looking at. And so Tony, if you're out there or hearing this later, thank you again. I very much appreciate your help. And if ever there's a time you need help with a Linux project, you know where to find me and how to reach me, and I'm more than happy to return the favor. So I needed to put that out there in the universe as well. So I hope it didn't say 7:05. It should have said 8:05 if it said anything other than 9:05, but you might be in a different time zone, which could account for that, I suppose. 10,000 steps is BS anyway. Well, I mean, if you're a 90-pound woman and you're trying to do something and you're only 5'1.5", then maybe you need the extra steps to equal out. But I'm already moving more weight around than what a 90-pound woman would be, and so it's not going to take as much movement to burn as many calories. So that's my thinking on it, and it is what it is. It's facts are facts, right? Listening to your story about your friend Michael, born on the same day as you. I was a freshman in high school with a guy named Carl who was born on the same day I was. Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, the story he and I were both told growing up is that our respective fathers were in the same waiting room together. So, apparently in the almost mid-70s, they didn't let the fathers in the delivery room. So, it is what it is. We even have social security number one apart, so I guess we could impersonate each other. Yeah. Probably. Um, I do hope he never decides to John Wick me. All right, we'll drink to that one. Maybe I just needed a couple extra days off from streaming. It didn't even really register in my head that today was System Administrator Appreciation Day when I decided not to stream on Wednesday. But when I realized that today, and by the way, my staff did nothing to celebrate. They did last year, but they didn't this year. Whatever. Maybe it's an every 5-year thing at my employer. I don't know. But I don't know. I just feel more energetic and upbeat about streaming tonight. I don't have a particular plan in place. So if we shoot the bull for 90 minutes, then hey, we've had a good time and I've had a couple of beers, and all is right in the world. Well, except everything is not all right in the world. On Tuesday, I was very saddened to hear that we lost the one and only Prince of Darkness, John Michael, aka Ozzy Osbourne. And for all of his quirks, as a celebrity, as a musician, if you listen to the people that knew him in a different context, his kids, his neighbors, Pat Boone was his neighbor. And other people have said the same thing, that he was a gentle and compassionate person. So, don't let the lights and the tales, whether it be of his drug and alcohol abuse or biting heads off from animals, or what have you, take away from the fact that behind all that, Ozzy was a human being, and he was so determined to do that final concert on the 5th of July earlier this month that he went off his pain meds for his Parkinson's in order to have his voice sound more clear. So, with all that in mind, Ozzy, I salute you. Thank you for getting me through some dark times in my life, and I hope you are no longer in pain. Cheers. Now, I don't condone biting the heads off from bats or snorting a line of ants or anything of the sort, but he gave us some damn fine entertainment over the last 50 plus years, 55, 56 years, to be closer to the truth. So, he was making music years before I was around, and decades before I actually heard him. Well, a decade and a half before I heard him, anyways. Anyway, let's see what people are saying in the chat. We also cut Spanish class together, but I never saw him past the middle of 10th. Fire your staff. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have firing authority. But I'll let it go this year. I even made a point in our last staff meeting last week to mention today's date as being System Administrator Appreciation Day, and still nothing. Not a card, not a Slack message, nothing. Oh well. I feel appreciated by the people that show up to my streams and leave comments on my videos, and you know, even the ones that I hit over the head with the ban hammer because they can't play nice, and acknowledge that the fact that they're the ones that chose to click on a video, and you know, they can't leave a productive comment. I'm okay with losing a few viewers if that's what it comes down to, but I'm over the BS. I am over the BS. All right. So here's another tale I can tell, I suppose. So I was reviewing these quotes today, and I decided to go out on Reddit and you know, fish for some information. And what should I happen to discover? I discovered somebody that had posted a video, a YouTube video, to Reddit. And I clicked on the video, and it's somebody we all know. I'm not going to give away his handle on Reddit, nor am I going to give away mine at this point. But it is somebody that you would recognize if I said his name out loud. So cheers to our friend who lives north of me. So take that for what you will. Not due north, but north and then another direction. So we'll leave it at that. Let's see. Let's show this off for just a minute. I guess I could get logged back in. Some of you may recognize the name Brandon Lee. And no, not the son of Bruce Lee. Got to make that distinction, right? So Brandon has the virtualization how-to channel. And he also has related to that channel a group called Home Lab Explorers. And this is on skool.com, school spelled SKOOL. And yeah, I have been on this for a week-ish. And there have been some good discussions that have come out of being a part of this group. Now, yes, I've tried in the past to start up a group in, I think it was Telegram or something like that. That didn't really fly. People weren't coming over, and I just kind of let it grow weeds, right? So I'm going to wait a while before I revisit doing something like that outside of YouTube. I'm still hoping that at some point they will actually launch their YouTube courses feature that they've been promising for a year, and still haven't delivered. But Brandon has 561 members over here. 2 of them are online. I'm one of them, apparently. And so, you know, it's kind of cool. He's got a little classroom area, list of members, a map where different people are located. And the map is purposely off by several miles to, it says pins are off by 10 plus miles for privacy, which is fine. There's nobody in the group from Greenland. And looks like only 2 on the whole continent of Africa. But anyway, you know, they do little leaderboards, and yes, I'm on the leaderboard for the past 7 days. And it's just kind of a fun place to hang out. I don't spend a lot of time there, but I try to read any of the new comments and discussion topics. And if I have an opinion, I will try to make a comment back. And if I don't have an opinion, I'll at least give it a thumbs up and, you know, go from there. But just want to make that known to everybody that, you know, shout out to Brandon and his channel, and to this school group, I guess you could call it, or I don't know what they call them. School community, I guess, because you get the option to create a community. You can discover other communities. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. I looked at the create your own option, and I think it's $9 a month if I were to start one, right? So anyway, that's that. I'm gonna follow his community for a while, and you know, kind of get a feel for this, and whether it's something that I want to explore further. But you know, it's been interesting to hang out here, and you know, I've actually learned a couple of things along the way. So, you know, there's that. There's that. All right. Let's see. TVJ is in the house. Hello, TVJ. Welcome. Yes, you would be right. How'd you guess? Have you also run into Jason on Reddit? And Alonzo is here. Welcome in, sir. So looks like we are up to 9 people watching right now. So that makes it a good time to put up my stupid promotional graphic. Everybody like the video, please. Doesn't cost you anything. Goes a long way to helping the channel. Got to try to keep some momentum going, because this has been kind of another bum month revenue wise. So that's all right. I am not discouraged. I will regroup, and there are fun things coming this fall. I have mapped out some opportunities. I don't have dates assigned to them because, well, we're waiting on some software to be released. But what do we have coming up? So we have Debian version 13 Trixie being released, I believe, on the 9th of August. I think that was the date I saw. We have Proxmox VE 9.0 out currently in beta form. I did install that live one night, TVJ style. Jay, you better trademark that. Did it live, TVJ style. Seems like a t-shirt opportunity. So yes, we did that live TVJ style. And then I think it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday before I went to work. I saw that Proxmox backup server version 4.0 beta has been released. So, obviously it's going to be after the Debian 13 release because they're both based on Debian 13. I would expect, September, October, November timeframe. That is when they have traditionally done their fall release. But we should also see, at some point, we should be seeing a beta of Proxmox Data Center Manager. They were promising that we would have a beta after the middle of this year. The alpha was released last December, and I'm sure they've updated it internally, but they have not produced a beta yet. So I am very much looking forward to that. We'll also have Ubuntu 25.10 coming in October. Thus, the year 25 and the 10 for the month kind of gives it away, doesn't it? So there are several things that will be coming this fall. And I would expect, although I can't guarantee, I would expect that after Ubuntu 25.10 is released, we will see another rebuild of RescueZilla, whether that becomes 2.6.2 or 2.7 or 3.0. I'm not entirely sure, but it should increment the number, whether it's the major or the minor or the patch number. I'm not sure which. It's always sort of a surprise, right? So those are some of the opportunities I see in the fall. Then I can the other one, Linux Mint Debian Edition 7 is going to pick up development and be released after Linux Mint 22.2 or 22.3, whichever is the next one. And then they're going to switch over development to Linux Mint Debian Edition 7 based on Debian 13. So obviously it's, we're looking at September, probably September, October-ish timeframe for that. So we get past this summer slump that I've been in for new subscribers and views and revenue, and hopefully I'll rebound the last quarter of the year, because third quarter isn't looking too hot right now. I'll put that out there. Okay. So David has already liked the video, and Jay's laughing at the comment about TVJ style. Soon to be a registered trademark of TVJ. I'll probably have to start paying him royalties for it. Just imagine if you could collect $1 for every time somebody said, I did it live, TVJ style. You could fund a new pump for your pool or something. Revenue with YouTube is so unpredictable. My numbers were low. Then I put out 3 boring videos, and then I'm up 12%. So, you know, it's funny you mentioned that, David, because I was really proud of that fog video I put out. I put in some extra time. I did more editing than I normally do. And then it kind of flatlined after a couple of days. And then I follow it up with the RescueZilla video. And that has, I think, 90 minutes total recording and editing time for a 20 odd minute video, 16-minute video, 20-minute, somewhere in there. And that video has exceeded my expectations. It's not making me fat cash. In fact, I think it's only made me like, oh, bugger. I restarted the computer, so I'm not logged into Google yet. So give me a moment, and I could tell you what that's done so far. Hey, it liked the passcode or pass whatever they stupid things are called now. So the fog video is stalled at 155 views. After 8 days, which is pretty disappointing. And on the other hand, the RescueZilla video is at 293 views after basically 2.5 days. But it's made me all of 48 cents so far. I mean, what can you do? Usually my videos, I've noticed the pattern. Usually my videos, it takes at least 30 days and sometimes up to 90 days for them to really see an uptick. So, you know, the performance of the RescueZilla video is very encouraging that that's going to, you know, continue to do well. The fog video, I got nothing. I got nothing. Maybe people are just over fog now, and that's fine, because you know, it's, I know I've become the fog guy on YouTube, or at least it seems that way. But you know, the views just aren't happening for the fog videos like they used to. So let's see. So the latest fog video got 155 views. The one previous to that, released in May of this year, that was just sort of a teaser, got 245 views. And then the one that the one previous to that, that was public, was back in March of 2023, and you know, after 2 years and a few months, that's got over 12,000 views. So you know, I'm not ruling it out to recover and do something, but you know, I'm not banking on it either. I will say the fog videos have made me a decent amount of money. One of the videos has over 60,000 views. Another has over 52,000. But those are, you know, 5.5-year-old videos. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I've started taking a little more stock of the sort of video ideas that have done well on the channel. So it's Fog, it's Open Media Vault mostly. The Proxmox related videos have done well. And so my plan is to do another set of videos once the 9.0 version of Proxmox gets fully released. But it's really kind of those three areas, and then some of the SSH topics have done well as well. So my discussion with my buddy Michael the other night did reveal a couple of things to me, and probably things that people have said before, but having it said to me in person outside of the context of the chat room or whatnot, it just sort of clicked in my head a little bit more. But he said that they regularly or semi-regularly sit down and just put my videos on. He said there are times that neither one of them understand what the hell I'm talking about, but they're not Linux users. So my thought process, and I've been kind of thinking about this for the last couple of days since he and I talked, but my thought process is that and I don't want to do another channel just to do this, but I'll probably do it as a playlist. And try to break down some more of those basics. I had a guy leave a comment the other day asking about a video just on Windows 11 showing how to connect to Open Media Vault. And I told him, I said, I don't have any plans to make a dedicated video doing exactly that. I said, I've covered Windows in almost every Open Media Vault video I do. And I linked him to a timestamp in a video where I show connecting from Windows to Open Media Vault. And I said, it's no different than connecting to a Synology, a TrueNAS box, a Ugreen, what have you. It's Windows network shares, right? And so I linked him to another one of my videos. I linked him to some Microsoft documentation that talks through the steps, different ways you can connect to a remote file share, right? You can go into Windows Explorer, do the double backslash and put in your IP address or domain name and another slash and the share name, and you'll be prompted for credentials. You can also, from Windows Explorer, you can go to the three dots, you can say map a network drive and put in the required information and connect that way. Or you can go old school, and I'm old, but I'm not in school. I don't know if that counts. And you can go to the terminal, the Windows terminal, PowerShell, or the traditional Windows command line, and you can say netuse Z : double backslash your IP address or domain name or DNS name, local DNS name, slash the share name. And you can connect that way. There are also parameters in there. You can choose to put the username and password in that command. You can also choose to make it persistent, so it'll stay there after you restart the computer. The caveat these days, unlike when I learned these commands in DOS, but the caveat these days is you don't necessarily want to make those drives persistent if you're on a laptop and you're not always connected to the same network, because you go outside your local network and you ain't going to connect unless you're using some sort of VPN or overlay VPN like Tailscale or TwinGate or NetBird or Zero Tier or any number of options that are available out there. LogMeIn Hamachi is the old school, the OG solution for that kind of thing. You know, trying to get people to be able to play network games across the internet. You know, in like 2007. So you know, I may revisit some of this, and try to make it as beginner friendly as possible. But one thing that I've discovered, and you know, I've had to make peace with to some extent, no matter what you do, you're either going to make a video too advanced or too basic for the people watching it on YouTube. And there, at least in my experience, there doesn't seem to be a middle ground, at least with my demographic, my viewers, right? It's either too basic or it's over their head. I hit the polls and I can't find the middle ground, right? But hey, I'm a stubborn SOB and I'm just going to keep trying. And, you know, I didn't get to nearly 1,000 videos on YouTube by giving up, right? And if nothing else, once I'm dead and gone, maybe some of my relatives, not my direct lineage, but you know, my nieces or my cousins' kids will find my videos and get a laugh or two out of them. So, you know, there's that, right? Let's see. I've been yakking quite a bit. Let's see where I stopped. Okay. Welcome in Mini GP Racing. About 6 months ago, I tried LMDE on a mini PC. It was just buggy. Switched to Parrot Security. Been very stable for me. Nice. That would be awesome. You never know. The trick is just keep pitching and see if the batter hits or strikes. Yep, I agree. Imaging is kind of dead in my opinion. Even at work, we went away from custom images. Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to tell people. I think for today's world, something like RescueZilla is a more useful tool in a lot of ways. Because not only could you create an image, if you wanted to, and I'm going to use Linux as an example because that's what I know best, right? So you could, for instance, create an image using, for instance, Linux Mint, like I've done in the recent video. You could run through the OEM install, which is equivalent to running a Windows install going into brain fart, whatever that mode is called. And doing your little customizations on it, and then having a semi-custom image, right? I've been saying for years that, even back in 2019, 2020, my approach is make as few changes to a Windows install or a Linux install even as absolutely necessary, and use that and push it out. Or just do a generic install. Hear me out. With the advent of package managers, and they've been around on Linux for 20 odd years, but now Windows has its own, right? It still has some warts. Let's all admit that. But it does make it easier to deploy software. To the extent you can even have your own internal Winget repository that you maintain that has your custom, say, line of business software. And you can have full control and guarantee that the newest version or the version your organization is standardized on can get pushed out to all your newly deployed computers. And you've got many tools for doing that deployment. Ansible. You've got Terraform for doing, you can do software deployments with it. It's not the best option, but Terraform and Ansible together are pretty powerful. You can hook all this into GitHub or GitLab or what have you, and you can do your custom CI/CD pipelines. There are so many options today that, making a quote unquote golden image is a very 1990s approach to things, right? So, another tool that's available, I wish it were updated more frequently, but it's available, is iVentoy. It's basically a Pixie server where you can have multiple OS images that you can deploy the official image to computers over the network. Whether that be Windows or Linux or, I don't know, BSD, Unix, what have you. Sorry, Mac users, you're SOL on that one. But Apple's got its own facilities for doing things anyways. So, and honestly, they've kind of had a leg up on doing some of that because they can do it right over the internet with, you get connected to Wi-Fi or a wired connection and you're golden. You've got a bum storage drive. Well, not on the new computers, but on the older computers, if you had a bum storage drive, you could put in a new drive and restore over the internet. Not necessarily the fastest way to do it, but it can be done. So, I understand that there are organizations, there are schools specifically that still make use of FOG. They've used it for years. That's fine. What people don't seem to have click in their thick skulls is that you don't need a brand new video every time a release comes out. To cover every step of the process. Covering the differences, sure. But you don't need a whole brand new training on how to drive a car every time you get a new car, do you? No. You want to know where the headlights are, where the windshield wipers are, and things of that nature, and then you drive that down the road. And if all else fails, read the directions or go to YouTube. I mean, at some point, the car manufacturers are going to get wise, and instead of printing manuals for every new car, they're going to have a laminated card with a QR code on it. You scan it with your phone, and you get whatever information you need. Save a tree, right? Not that I'm opinionated much tonight. Let's see. I was shocked by my 2 STA port add-on device views. Oh, sad. That is. Okay.
Josephus is in the house. Who let the dogs out?
Just getting done working, running my audio in the 95-degree heat. Yep. Seda, that is. Second attempt. Vodka may be an issue. That's all right. I'm almost to the end of the first beer, so and we're just barely an hour in. Maybe I should listen to my CFO more. I was pitching a couple of ideas to her 3 months ago, and she likes one of the COM ports in modern PCs. Yeah. Now that one was the best performer of a 4-month period. I have several batch files that use the netuse commands. Yeah. I mean, it's still there. It's still useful. And I did one time. I don't think I've got it in here anymore. Whoops. I did at one time show off my DOS 6.22 book that I still keep around and I reference from time to time. I'm sure a lot of people have thrown them out, but I still have mine. Wasn't a cheap book when I bought it as a student. I spent a lot of time thinking about 3 poles between too complex and too simple. Yep. We are required to use company supplied image on all machines. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of places are like that. I mean, especially when you get into, like your hospitals and different places like that. You've got to go through all the HIPAA certifications, so they'll probably have an image, and then that's certified, and then you add additional software after the initial install, and then you have to recertify. That's the process I had gone through when I worked at the College of Health Professions for my internship. And it was a pain in the butt, but at the end of the day, the process worked, right? So bureaucrats at work. I decided on thinking about teaching a tech high school student something and may do my best to stay at that level. Yeah. That's a good level to shoot for. I guess having taught vocational college level classes, I've always gone just above the high school level, but maybe I need to reconsider that approach. I'll have to do some thinking on that one. When I worked for a large bank in the late 80s and early 90s as a system software developer, manager, and fledgling security professional, 4 branches were hacked. The thinking was missing. Oh, yeah. Yep. Our packing unit was able to add to the image, and they set ridiculous passwords for remote modem access. Sounds about right. Tony, your ears must have been ringing. I did mention you earlier in the stream. Stopping in to say hello. Can only stay for a few. We'll catch the whole stream tomorrow. Very well. Very well. In that role, we were notified about a major audit. So my team had to do a pre-audit. Oh, boy. So, yeah, we're about an hour and 4 minutes in. I'm almost the end of the first beer. Having a good time so far. Just not feeling like doing anything terribly technical tonight, but I owed everybody a stream since we missed Wednesday, and so here we are. Yeah. I guess things are going as well as can be expected right now. I reached out and tried to persuade my youngest niece to come over and help me do a few things this weekend, but she's busy babysitting, so that's a no-go. I asked her about next weekend because there's some things I'd really like a little bit of help with, but she didn't know. I don't know. I wish I had just one nephew. Just one. But I have my brother-in-law to blame for that. So, and if you don't know what that means, go reread your biology book. He's been teased for years about having defective swimmers. We'll just put it that way. Let's see. Fortunately, my team cleaned everything up prior to the audit team arriving. Nice. Have a good one, Jay. Thanks for stopping in. Banking regulator audit usually leads to people being shown the door. I can only imagine. So, what am I going to be up to this weekend? Well, I need to put the finishing touches on the next midweek news video. I'm hoping to have that out tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. I need to get out and do some mowing and trimming and stuff in the yard if the weather cooperates, because I don't want to go out and start doing that stuff and end up on the ground because of heat stroke or something. I got to go pick up some groceries to get me through the next week. I'm kind of getting to the bottom of the barrel right now. But hey, I've learned over the years how to doctor up a frozen burrito. It's nothing a little cheese and taco sauce can't fix, right? But yeah, I need to go out and pick up a few things, get some errands run, and then other than doing some yard work, which again, that's dependent on the weather. One of the things that I've got on my to-do list this weekend is finally get some network equipment switched over. I've had a good run with the stuff that I'm using, but I've got some other stuff that I want to switch in. The GrandStream stuff that I've been testing on and off for 8 months. It's about time that I put it into production in my home environment and get myself a little bit more prepped for what I will be using at work here in the next month or two. So that's going to be a fun project. I'm probably going to bring the rack back into this room. I'll probably move the printer into the next room because I would like to access the rack more often than the printer. So there's that. And yeah, hopefully I can get some things rearranged and a few devices that have fallen off the network because I did something stupid, reconnected to the network so that I can continue using them. Yeah, since I'm still using UniFi for my Wi-Fi, I've also got a UniFi Flex switch, and I borked the configuration on that yesterday, so it's not even accessible from my computer. So it's getting the reset tomorrow or maybe tonight. And then I'm going to be swapping out some equipment hopefully tomorrow afternoon and getting the GrandStream access points into place and things of that nature. And then it's just testing to make sure everything comes back up in the new network. And not really going to be a new network. I'm going to use the same subnet range on the new equipment as I've got on my existing, just to make transition for things like Proxmox easier. And go from there. But in the process of all this, I'm also going to do a cleanup on my switch. I have 24 port patch panel that I haven't used yet. And I really want to get this into service and get my cabling cleaned up once and for all, hopefully. So that's part of my plan for tomorrow. Then the big next thing will be, can I find the rack studs that I need to get everything hooked up and mounted the way I want it in the rack? If I have to place an Amazon order, I'll place an Amazon order. I want to get this done and squared away. Let's just say. In the process of doing all this, I may change the office around a little bit, or studio, or whatever we want to call it. I haven't completely decided on that one yet, but it would make moving some of the things around a little bit easier if I did that in conjunction with doing the other stuff I want to do. But if I could get to feeling really creative, then I might set up the OBSBot in the corner and run it until I fill up the SD card, and then turn it into a time lapse for Sunday night's live stream. I think that could be interesting. But we'll see on that one. I still haven't been back downstairs to check on the footage I recorded last weekend for the second channel. If I ever get that channel actually off the ground, I'm not even sure at this point. I may go in a different direction than what I was initially expecting. I don't know. But hey, that's where we're at right now. We are at an hour and 13 minutes. Yeah. One of my retirement priorities is teaching my granddaughter all I can technically. Nice. Hey, that's great if she's interested in it and wants to learn. One of my grandfathers was dead before I was 5, and the other, by the time I was 7, had remarried and taken off to Florida with his second wife. And I didn't hardly see him again after that. So I expect she will be on a future Mars landing. To improve the chances of that, I have been spending a lot of time learning about spacecraft guidance systems. Nice. Name of the second channel. Right now, it's called Like Minded, spelled the way I spell my last name. I don't really have content on the channel yet. I've recorded several things, but I've talked myself out of posting it for whatever reason. I don't even. I've got a banner up. I don't particularly like the banner, but I put it up. But my idea for this channel was, there's an uptick in people over 50 with YouTube channels, and so I was planning to try to cash in on that a little bit. Just not necessarily talking about tech the way I do on this channel, but maybe approaching it from lessons I've learned along the way and trying to distill that in a way people in my age bracket and above can understand. I'm going to try hard not to be quite as snarky on that channel. I admit I tend to let the snark come through here. And it is what it is. I saw something on Facebook, and they were describing Gen X as people that are between the ages of 45 and 60 that look like they're 30 and think and act like they're teenagers. It's not really that far off most days, but adulting is overrated as far as I'm concerned. Maybe I'll only do one beer tonight. So I don't know. I've got a logo for the other channel. I put the banner up before I had the logo, so I need to modify the banner. But anyways, yeah. I guess I did post a video to the channel, and it was just a test stream doing trivia. They got a whopping 9 views. So hopefully, if I can ever get my poop in a group, those of you who have dogs will appreciate that saying, I suppose. Maybe I can actually get a video posted to this channel and, get it kicked off to some extent. But there was a dude from Louisiana, I think. I caught one of his videos the other day. Somehow it came up in my my feed. I can't seem to find it right now. Anyways, he's like 66 and he's just starting on YouTube, and part of me wants to just reach out and say, hey, if you want some pointers, I've been doing this for a while, and I'm willing to do a video meeting with you just to help you kick things off a little bit. But I don't know. I haven't sent him anything yet. Oh, there he is. His channel is called Adventures of the Broke and Retired. But he's one of those people that believes in voodoo and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah. So I don't know how long I'll stay subscribed to his channel, but what does he have? He's got 772 subscribers. And he's been on YouTube for 5 days. He's posted 13 videos in 5 days. So, but he seems like an interesting guy. He's got a couple of dogs that he showed off in one of the videos, and he's got, I guess the one he posted today has a Union Pacific train in it. So, there might be some things on there that are a little more generic. So I don't know. It seemed interesting when I found it, and we'll see what happens. Trying to find time to install Proxmox and rat configure Grandstream UCM 6301. Nice. I never liked being a teenager. As a matter of fact, since I started working as a mainframe tech at 19, everyone I worked with, though, was 25 to 27. Now 69 and counting. Good round number, right? All right. We are starting to hemorrhage viewers, so that signals to me that it's a good time to wrap this up. So once again, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. If you are or have been, as part of your career at one time or another, a system administrator or a network administrator, this is your day. You are appreciated, even if your coworkers don't share that appreciation. So make yourself an adult beverage if you partake, and try to relax this weekend a little bit. And on that note, I think I will wrap things up for the evening, and I'm going to, I think, try to reset that flex switch and at least get my access points back up and going again, since they're both connected to that switch. And then I'll do the big cutover tomorrow, because after a beer, I don't feel like doing it tonight. So everybody have a good night. I will most likely be live again on Sunday evening. And hopefully I don't screw up the time for that one. Until next time, take care.